will request all of you to mute your microphone, please. And with pranams to Reverential Maharaj and namaste to all present over here, we start our next session for Seekers of God. I will now request Malavika to please start with the peace chant. Yes, Malavika, please start.
Om Shang No Mitra Shang Varunaha Shang No Bhavattaryama Shang Na Indro Brihaspatihi Shang No Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Prattaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Prattaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritang Vadishyami Satyang Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.
Thank you, Malavika, and thank you for setting the right ambience and the correct note. And Maharaj, over to you. Please request you to commence the class. Thank you.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. हरिः ओम्. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Thank you, Juma, for hosting this session. It's a Tat Padam session. As you all know, for the newcomers, I'm giving a small intro. It's hosted by our Ireland devotees and mainly Juma and her husband Prithvish. This group has got 4 sessions, 4 every Sunday. They have 4 Sundays in a month. But my allotment is for 2 Sundays, second Sunday and 4th Sunday. So today being the 4th Sunday, we are reading a book called For Seekers of God, written by Aditya, told and written down. That told this For Seekers of God, Swami Shivananda. In Bengali, it's a very popular book called Shivananda Bani, and that has been translated by a Swami in English. So that is what we are going to read. I would request you, yes. So, if you do not have this book, the PDF book, then you please, I would request to circulate it in the Tat Padam group. You will give the book there, you can just take it and we will watch it now. So, I am turning over to Prithvish for first to read the text and then we shall discuss the text. Prithvish, where do you start today?
Pranam Maharaj. Today we are reading from chapter 5 and I had circulated the page where we are going to start today. I have just put a red underline over there. So I start from there. Gradually, the conversation turned upon monasticism and the life of a monk. A newly initiated sannyasin said, Maharaj, please tell us the rules and codes that we should observe as monks. While conducting works of service, it is not practicable to abide by the orthodox monastic rules and regulations mentioned in the Paramhansa and Narayana Upanishad. Last evening, we had a discussion on this subject with Swami Suddhananda. Swami responds, yes, there are many monastic rules of the kind you mentioned, but since they are not meant for you, it is not necessary for you to observe them. You represent a different type of a monk, a combination of karma yogi and sannyasin. Swamiji has left a new ideal for you. You are expected, in addition to your spiritual practice, dispassionately to carry on activities conducive to spirituality. Naturally, it is not practical for you to observe the rules of which you speak literally. They are meant for sannyasis who do not believe in any activity other than self-analysis and discrimination. But you know, my child, if one is true in the essentials, the rest will take care of itself. The monk asks, Maharaj, what are the essentials? The Swami responds, they are renunciation of lust and gold. One can renounce lust of the flesh and greed of the wealth, everything will be all right. What counts is not the mere renunciation of external attachments. Inner attachments must also be given up. Remember that at the time of your monastic vow, you offered oblations in the sacred fire, symbolically making a holocaust of desires. At the base of all desires are lust and greed. Above everything else, a monk should observe the vow of chastity and poverty. Be sincerely resigned to the Lord. He will give you all knowledge. In time, everything will be revealed through His grace. The monk asks, but Maharaj, so long as the body lasts, should one not have some desire for self-preservation? Swami says, yes, he should. The scriptures contain injunctions to that effect. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a passage which says, realizing the self and renouncing desires for progeny, wealth and popularity, the knowers of Brahman take to the life of itinerant monks subsisting on alms. One can have that much desire as is absolutely necessary for self-preservation. Begging for alms should provide only bare necessities. Nowhere do the scriptures say that a monk should have sumptuous meals or live in luxury. The main object of the self-preservation is to be able to call on the Lord wholeheartedly and to do works in His service, that is all. The monk says, well, Maharaj, is it possible for dualists to practice renunciation? The Swami says, why not? Renunciation means doing away with the three foremost desires. A devotee, accepting the dualistic view, renounces all desires except the desire for God. He alone is to be desired in life. The desire to realize Him is not really a desire at all.
Yes. So the chapter 5 ends here. This is the later part of the chapter 5 that we heard from Pritish. The earlier class last month, we did the first part of that chapter 5. So in this, we find Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj is sitting in his room after the morning meditation was over, and some monks have come to his room who sat under his feet and are asking questions. So this conversation happens every day almost. Whenever he is not sick, then he sits there and he accepts people coming there and talking to him. Sometimes the devotees also join, especially on this day, that is Tuesday, September 14, 1923. That was morning, not many devotees were there, only the monks were there. So naturally the talk turned towards monastic vows, monastic tradition, etc. So in the previous month, we also saw about the wandering monks. How do they go from place to place as a form of pilgrimage? It's called Tirtha Yatra. Tirtha Yatra, that is pilgrimage. That has been accepted as one of the forms of sadhana for the monks as well as for the householders. So monks also do go on pilgrimage, and then they sit in a place where it is naturally with the high vibrations of the many monks and sadhus who have visited that place. So those places are considered highly congenial for getting your connection with God. Why do we go to such places? One of the reasons is the place of pilgrimage is already has been sanctified by so many before us, from the great ancient rishis onwards. And then God's presence is so palpably felt. That is why we do undertake this pilgrimage, which in other times and another world where we are living, it is not possible to have that feeling. I have heard from people in Durban when I was there, some devotees used to come and tell us, Swamiji, in our headquarters, that is headquarters means our Durban center, where we used to come and sit, and we used to feel a kind of vibration that takes us from the normal mundane level. You see, even a little going up in your mental state, you can see how you are freed from the worries, you are freed from the anxieties, your body is get relaxed, and then 2 hours of staying in the ashram is actually, it is recharging your spirit. So in that way, people understand that why do we go there? Because in that ashram or in any other ashram, you will find people in group come. So when 100 people are sitting and doing Ramakrishna Sharanam, you find that vibration is emanated from the words that are uttered. And all the 100 people are at one point of, everybody is connected at one point of the devotion to Sri Ramakrishna. So naturally, when the song is being sung, you find your mind is elated and it is elevated also. It is not only it is very glad and happy, but it is risen to another level. So there are different levels that mind can move up and down. It can go down and down and down to the completely, it can go down, or it can go up and up and up and go to the supreme level also. So any level you go, the mind can travel from one state of level to another state. So this is what happens. That's why the pilgrimage was praised there. So now the Swami, the same Swami who is talking to Swami Shivananji, is asking a question after the topic turned towards monasticism and the life of a monk. You know, there is always a question among the newcomers to the Ramakrishna order. There are boys who have studied well. Even today also we have got a boy who has studied well in engineering, etc., and he wants to become a monk. So he has come. So like that you find at many places newcomers are coming. Now the newcomers are fed with some ideas of monasticism from their childhood days, from their parents, from their elders in the family, etc., and also the society. So wherever they go, there is a chance to meet any monk, then that impression comes into that boy's mind. Now, these people have certain ideas about monkhood. So when we come here, we are not coming with a clean plate of mind. We already have some conceptions about monks and monkhood and how they have to take their life, etc. So, if those are all aligned to the orthodox views, then you get a shock. You know, this I tell you in Kanpur, I joined the Kanpur Center. It's a Hindi-speaking place under Uttar Pradesh, and there lots of monks were there. The lots means I'm not telling you 20 to 30, there 5, 6 monks were there, and brahmacharis, 7 brahmacharis were there. And I was the youngest man. So I went in there, and I am the only person who is non-Bengali, non-Hindi, that is not North Indian. So I am the only South Indian, they would call me. You know, Dakshin ka ladka, like that they would call me. So this Dakshin ka ladka, only one person, and the rest are all either speaking Bengali or speaking Hindi. So there, that Hindi brahmachari, one day he was telling me, see, I don't want to stay here, I want to go out. I want to go to Rishikesh. So I asked him, why do you want to go? This is a very nice place, and the Swamis are all very lovable, and they also loving us. And then why should you want to leave this nice ashram? Because you have to, after 2 years, you have to go to Belur Math for training center, etc. You see, there's a long life is pending before you. Why do you spoil all these things by running away? He said, I cannot accept the way this ashram is being run or conducted. I said, what is the problem that you felt? He said, here you see, instead of thinking of God 24 times, the big Swami is telling me to go and sit in the dispensary and do work. For dispensary work, he can employ somebody else and pay some salary. Why does he want a brahmachari to go and sit in a dispensary? He asked. I was struck back because this type of orthodox idea of monkhood is you sit in a place or you go to a place, quiet place, solitary place, and you think of God for 24 hours. That is what we are thinking about that. So suddenly you come to Ramakrishna Mission and then you are put into a job. Job means conducting a dispensary or a library, etc. And so at that time, your mind is asking the question. So there is, regarding monasticism, there is an orthodox view and there is a modern view. Now, there is an ultra-modern views have come nowadays. From 2000 onwards, we are seeing some ultra-modern views have come, which we also do not support and neither we approve it. But the modern view is based on Swami Vivekananda's teachings. That is what we call modern view. Not the present day, some guru has come and then he is teaching, not that. So when I call modern view, I base upon Swami Vivekananda's ideas. So what Swamiji did to the monasticism of Hinduism is enormous contribution he has. The monasticism that was made into a formal one by Adi Shankara in 6th or 7th century. Now that, after that, the monasticism has not been redefined. Nowadays we call re-engineering. It was not re-engineered by anybody until Swami Vivekananda came on the scene. So I consider this as a very great interpretation. Swamiji's service to the society in different forms like philanthropical and then in the matter of education and the matter of health care, etc. They are all there. But very least discussed subject of Swamiji's revolutionary ideas is regarding monasticism. Because we don't have the opportunity to talk about this. Amongst only we talk. We monks come together, then we discuss. So naturally, the public, most of the public are not aware of it. Of course, if you read the complete notes of Swami Vivekananda, you will find many ideas about monasticism of Swamiji. But they are not compiled together and put into one book form for us to know. But then when we read it, we discuss it with the senior monks, then we come to know slowly, what is this? Completely a revolutionary idea Swamiji brought, which is what, in a simple term, Swami Shivanandaji is explaining to that monk. Because the monk is assailed by certain doubts. What are the doubts he has got? Should he follow the orthodox monasticism or the monasticism that is followed by Ramakrishna order? That is his question in his mind. That is a doubt in his mind. So he's telling that he says, while conducting works of service, it is not practicable to abide by the orthodox monastic rules. For instance, as mentioned in the two works, it says Paramahamsa Upanishad and Narayana Upanishad. You know, these Upanishads are very, very long back, they were all told to their disciples. And the disciples told to their further disciples. Like that it came. And then when written writing was found out, was discovered, then these were all put into writing. But they say, out of 1008 Upanishads, presently only 108 Upanishads are available. Out of these, only 11 or 12 Upanishads are being read by people. The rest of the Upanishads, of 982 Upanishads, are not even touched by anybody. Of course, they are all put into text. So they are put into print. Now they are available to anybody to go and see them. But then most of the Upanishads are not yet translated also. So we do not know what is written in those Upanishads. But then only these 11, 12 Upanishads, 10, 11 Upanishads, we take it as authoritative. And we study this only now. Why? It is because Adi Shankara has written commentary, Bhashya, on these Upanishads, these 10 Upanishads. So you find whatever Upanishad Adi Shankara picked up from the existing 100 and at least 10,008, And those Upanishads, rest of the Upanishads, he did not make any commentary. Or if he has made any commentary, it is not available to us nowadays. But what is available to us, the 10 Upanishads by Adi Shankara's commentary, so that thing only we are reading, we are studying. Most of the Upanishad classes you will find, they starts with the Isha Upanishad, then Kata Upanishad, then Kena Upanishad. Like that, 10 Upanishads are born. So, seeing this only, our Order Swami, Gambhiranandaji Maharaj, he wrote down the English translation of the 10 Upanishads. Because Shankara's commentary, he has put it under the Upanishadic mantras, and then he has translated into English for the English knowing public. And that has become very popular and a very good authoritative translation, I should say. Not like any other, seemingly big words are not used and then they are up to the point, and then the translation is very good. And this translation he did at the time when he lost his vision. So he had one Swami, a secretary Swami, Sumedhanandaji. I remember him, I have seen him also. And once he took me, when he came to Kanpur, he took me for 3 days Parivrajaka life. That is, completely, it cannot be forgotten. I was just a brahmachari, and he told me, come with me. I will introduce you to Parivrajaka life. That is wandering life. So he had only one bag with him and one kambal, that's all. And then one blanket he has got, that's all. And then he told me to take his kamandalu. I took his kamandalu and that bag. And then we walked. And I went behind him. And 3-4 villages we saw. And we stayed there. We took bhiksha in the village. We went and asked those mothers and they gave us food. And then we stayed in either the school building or any other place like that. So, and then we had bath in the ponds. So like that 3 days, I had a beautiful experience with him. And he was going for 3 months. Because he came to Kanpur, and I was a brahmachari at that time, he said, come with me. So I went with him. So at that time I saw how many rules and regulations are there for the orthodox sannyasis. And those are very, very strict rules. And those rules are done, they are written in the Upanishads itself. So there are 2 Upanishads, he says. There is one Sannyasa Upanishad and there is called Paramahamsa Upanishad. These 2 Upanishads are great Upanishads, no doubt. There is one Narayana Upanishad also we read, and then where Narayana has been praised there. The Paramahamsa Upanishad is also one of the 108 Upanishads text available to us today. So anybody can go to Wikipedia and see what it says about that Upanishad. These Upanishads, Paramahamsa Upanishad gives who is a Paramahamsa, it defines. We also say Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Ramakrishna has got an adjective. So if we say Paramahamsa Ramakrishna, like that we say. Why? Because the Paramahamsa does not mean, the Hamsa means, the ordinary meaning is, literal meaning is a swan. Swan is called Hamsa in Sanskrit. So Paramahamsa is supreme Hamsa, supreme swan. So that case, when you call a supreme swan, you don't generally understand, intellectually at least, you don't generally understand that the Hamsa means only the swan. See, because the supreme word has been added to that. If you speak of going to a zoo or going to any pond where swan is there along with the other birds, then that swan can be translated as a Hamsa. It is okay. But when you call it when you pick up a word like Paramahamsa, supreme swan, among the swans, no swan is supreme and no swan is inferior. Swan is a category, that's all, of the birds, that's all. But when you call it Paramahamsa, then the question comes, what is this Paramahamsa state? So it doesn't mean the bird, literally. It means something, state of mind. A state of mind is something unthinkable. When you see, Sri Ramakrishna one day came out of his room and he was walking in Dakshineswar temple. In Dakshineswar temple, there are several areas allocated for certain work. For instance, when devotees come and take prasad, then their leaves have to be thrown somewhere. So for that, a separate specified place is there. There they all throw that leaves, and then the leaves will be collected later and thrown into the Ganges. So this is the method. So at that time when he was walking, he just stood and then saw what is happening there. Some funny thing was happening. What was this? 2-3 dogs, naturally, when the leaves are thrown out, then the dogs come. They are stray dogs going here and there. So they are standing there and they are eating from those leaves. And surprising thing was, one man, also human being, was sitting amongst the dogs and he was eating. So it attracts the attention of everyone. Instead of going to that bhandar where the bhiksha is given in the Dakshineshwar temple, instead of that, this man, whoever, maybe beggar or whoever he is, he has come to this place where the eaten leaves are thrown. And there, along with the dogs, he is sitting and he is eating. Is it not surprising thing? And Ramakrishna saw him and he said, "Ore, Hridai, see, there's a Paramahamsa there," he says. And Hridai, the moment he heard Paramahamsa word, one Paramahamsa has come to Dakshineshwar, he ran. Just he forgot, the Mama whom he is serving is himself a Paramahamsa. And he wanted to see another Paramahamsa outside. And he ran, and then he saw the Paramahamsa. The moment that Paramahamsa, that man saw him, that beggar, he got up and he started walking. So Hridai thought, let me go and catch him. So he started walking behind him. After some distance, that man turned back and saw Hridai is still following him. So he started running. And Hridai also started running. So walking, running, and then no jogging was there. And then they were running and running and running. And one place, that man stood. And then he turned back in a very fierce look. He looked at Hridai, and Hridai went and just fell at his feet, caught his feet, and he says, "My Mama told that you are a Paramahamsa." He says to him, "Who is Mama, etc.?" Nothing, that man doesn't know anything about Paramahamsa. But he says, "My Mama told that you are a Paramahamsa. So now tell me, give me some advice." Then that man told him, when you look Ganges Jal, that is Ganga water, and the drainage water equal, at that time you have attained the jnana, you have attained the knowledge. When you think Ganges water is the most highest purifying thing, it is the purified waters, and here in what you call, where the things are being thrown, the leftovers are thrown, in that place the water is also moving, and that water is fully corroded, or I should not corrode, say spoiled, polluted water. And both are same. If you can find the sameness between these two, you are having knowledge, he said. So he came and told Sri Ramakrishna. Then Sri Ramakrishna confirms, yes, he is a Paramahamsa, like that he says. So Paramahamsa is a state of mind. Just to tell you, explain to you that Hamsa does not make any meaning of a swan, but it is a state of mind. Why then Hamsa word is used? There are two interpretations. One interpretation is Advaitic, that is Vedantic interpretation. They say the word Paramahamsa has got two words. Parama means supreme and Hamsa means swan. But this Hamsa word itself does not, if it does not indicate a bird, a swan, then what does it indicate? So I told you it indicates a level of your progress in spiritual life, or the highest level. Parama means supreme, so highest level. But then what is that highest level? It is the two interpretations that this Vedantic interpretation says, Saha Aham. That is Soham. A word is used in Vedanta, Soham, Soham, Soham. What is the Soham is? I am that, I am that, I am that. I am Brahman, or I am Atman. So I am Atman, I am that, means I am Brahman. I refers to Atman, and that refers to Brahman. So this is the word Saha Aham. So if you join it, Sandhi, if you join it, then it becomes Soham. So they say the Vedantic sadhus, they don't make japa of any mantra referring to a personal God. This also you must be knowing it. Vedantic means Advaita Vedantic tradition. There is no japa mantra is given by Guru. The Guru will say, Tat Tvam Asi, you are that, he will say. Then the Shishya will say, Soham, Aham Brahmasmi. These type of mantras are used. So here, the disciple used to think in his mind again and again, Soham, Aham Saha. Like that he used to think, I am that, I am that, I am that. So from that the word, Hamsa word has come. This is a Vedantic interpretation. But there is another interpretation from the dualists, that is the Vaishnava tradition, you can call it. And they say that this Hamsa, yes, it refers to the bird only. Why? Because there's in mythology, there is a Hamsa, the bird is there, which when you mix water and milk and put it in a bowl, and you will find the Hamsa, that bird, will take only the milk and it will leave the water portion. So the water is kept there outside. It only takes milk. So this was troubling me because this is a mythological bird, does it. But actually, does the real Hamsas of our ears, of our tongue, do they also do that? Because we have never tried milk and water mixing and feeding to the birds of swan. So I was wondering this when I was in Singapore. I used to go for a walk in a park. It's called Botanical Park. These botanical gardens where Swamiji visited. 3 days he walked in that park. He writes in one of his letters that I walked in that park 3 days, he says. So naturally, that park is very special for me. Whoever devotees come in to meet me, I will tell them, come on Saturday morning, I will take you to that park. So one gentleman, our devotee, Vasan, used to come and take me to that place. And then we walk there, enjoy. There, the ponds have got swans. Not ducks. Ducks are there plenty, but swans are there. There only first time in my life, I saw black swans, completely black. Black swans I saw. Naturally, white swan means white, we think. Then that was given a shock to me that no, Saraswati may have white swans, but there may be some other deity may be having black swans also. That's why the black swans are existing. So the black and white swans I used to see. Then I met one of the maintenance of that garden. I asked him, is it true that a swan can differentiate between milk and water? He said, oh, that's very simple thing to explain. I said, how do you explain that? He said, when the swan takes the milk, its beak is quite, say, 2 inches, 2.5 inches big, and then it takes the milk. There is a filter in that beak, that down below. When the milk goes there, milk is the joins with that chemical placed on that filter, and then that it becomes chana-like. So the water is taken out and only the milk it takes. So you can say, yes, it separates milk and water, you can say that. Then I understood, oh, our mythology is not something imaginary things. Definitely they must have understood the scientific fact behind this milk and the water separation. So in such way, a Paramahamsa is having a state of mind where he can differentiate between what is Nitya and what is Anitya, what is Sukha and what is Dukkha, and what is not permanent, what is permanent. So this differentiation, if a man can do, why not you call him a Hamsa? You can definitely put that Hamsa word there. So the two interpretations are there, this Paramahamsa. And there are Narayana Upanishads is there where the sannyasa is being very extolled. And what the problem is they have very strict rules given in the orthodox time. It was possible for them to do it. The problem now, as Swamiji has done it, he says, Swami Shivananji Maharaj, oh, I lost the page. What is the page, Prithvish? Page number?
16.
16.
16.
16, yes. So he says, not 16, 5th chapter.
17.
17, yes, correct, thank you. It is 17th page. Yes. So there are many, many monastic rules are there in these kinds of Upanishads by the sages who wrote that at that time. But modern way, as Swamiji has found out, he says, they are not meant for you, he says. Because those olden rules, and they are maybe golden, but they are not suitable this time. It is suitable for whom? For those persons who live this area. I told you about a brahmachari who told me that he doesn't like this place. What he did was, he went to Rishikesh and he started doing tapasya. For him, those rules are okay, but not for us who are conducting schools, colleges, hostels, and then other dispensaries and other types of missionary activities which we are doing. Even in Christianity, you will find missionary activities. Some fathers will be there, some fathers who find only preaching, and some fathers who do only practice tapasya. So like that, among them also, the monasticism has gone into different fields. So like that, in our case, in Ramakrishna order case, the activity and contemplation should go together. If you are interested only in contemplation, Ramakrishna mission is not your place. We say, the new boys, we say that. You think of it properly. Are you willing to attach contemplation along with the activities? If you can attach with that, then this place is very suitable to you. If you are interested only in contemplation, it is not good. And neither if only in activity only, that is also not good here. Because we are not social reformists. We are not social workers. Swami Ranganathananji used to point out to us, as brahmacharis, we used to sit under his feet. He would say, mind you, never think you are a social worker. He would say, you are not a social worker. Social worker can be voluntary, can be taking salary also. But you are not social worker. Why? Because social workers' aim is to bring goodness to the society. But the same aim also we are having. Then what is the difference? The difference is, as monks, we are not only seeing the goodness of the society, we are doing it as service to the Lord. It is a seva, not merely work. It's not a job for me. For a social worker, being social worker, getting high degrees in social work, psychology, etc., you are just a worker only, but you are not a sadhaka. So worker and sadhaka, there is a difference. Yes, Lipika Di has raised her hand. Juma?
Maybe by mistake, Lipika?
Yeah. Sorry, sir. Sorry, it is by mistake.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, no problem. So the difference between contemplation and activity, it cannot be compartmentalized. So Nivedita says, while writing the preface to the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, she says, there is the distinction between secular and spiritual broken down by Swamiji. It's not there. Previously, we had this idea. When we have orthodox ideas about monasticism, we call certain activities secular activities and certain other activities spiritual activities. That distinction was broken by Swamiji, and that is the very biggest revolutionary contribution of Swami Vivekananda to the monasticism. It was not thought of earlier. And this differentiation, this revolutionary difference between contemplation and activity, these two cannot be, these cannot be separated. Every act in your life becomes an act of tapasya, an act of offering to Sri Ramakrishna, an act of worship. Every act, whatever be. So that is wonderful for us. For the Ramakrishna order monks, the ancient system of monasticism is not at all suitable. Suppose you say, For instance, one of the rules I tell you, you should not put any cloth on your body that has been stitched. It's an ancient monastic rule. Stitched clothes you cannot put. Now, our headquarters posted me in Ireland. Ireland has got normal temperature is 15, 16. And there, I should not put stitched clothes. I should not wear a sweater. I should not wear anything. How long you can survive? 2-3 days you may be able to survive. Can you stay 3 years there like that? No. So you have to put on a coat. You have to put on socks. You have to put on shoes. So when you go out, you have to put on overcoat also. Because it is completely cold place. So the rules, if you want to only monastic olden rules, then it is not suitable for certain places. Yes, if you come in India, if you stay in India and stay in a gufa or a temple, yes, those rules can be easily followed. So without chappals, no chappal should be worn. You cannot own any chappal. So you cannot wear chappal means in outside countries, can you go without chappal outside? Even the people there, they will also see you. Without chappal, suppose you walk into a mall, will they not, the gatekeeper will not allow you to enter. Now you see, there are places, different places, different types of situations are there. And Ramakrishna Mission monks, or Ramakrishna Order monks, I should say, are placed in such extremely unthinkable places also. So one letter came to me from NASA that are you interested to go on a tour of space? So I said, simply it came, I thought it was something bogus, fake. So I said, okay, yes. I replied yes. And then suddenly visa has come from NASA. Still I have got that visa. And whenever they will call you, they call me, I will use that. So it says, you are entitled for a visit to the space. We will take you like that. See, even we can go to space. Then what about your old rules? And then other rules, but important rules are, and the very complicated rules are there for regarding your talking or sitting with or eating from the hands of a lady, etc., etc. That is itself a separate subject. That's a very sensitive subject. I don't want to go into that. So, but in Ramakrishna order, our monks consider ladies as not mere ladies, as not mere women. They are mothers for us. See, they feed us, they provide our necessities. And how can you consider them as to be completely, they should not come before me, I cannot see them, and I will not take any food from them? Can you say that? You cannot. So, the situations are changing, times are changing, and accordingly, the rules are also have been set apart by Swami Vivekananda. Though there are strict rules, then what is monasticism then, you may ask. So that Swami, that monk is asking, then what are the essentials? He's putting a question. That means, yes, Lalita has given a comment. What is she says?
Yes, I'm reading it out. Okay.
Sorry, I got out of it by, I think there was a problem with my Wi-Fi, but nonetheless, no, sorry, relating to your point on activity and contemplation, I just wanted a little bit of your comment and your, your thoughts on this. When people do work or we perform an activity, you are expected to do it without expecting anything in return. So do you think this is one way of also going towards spiritual strengthening or trying to get an inner peace in a larger sense?
Thank you, Lalita, for this nice question. So this, yes, any type of activity offered to God and then accept as His direction, I am doing this, that definitely strengthens your spiritual belief and faith. And that will take you to a higher plane of it. That is the modus operandi of the karma yoga you are talking about. Yes, but I am not going deep into that subject. Here we only say the monastic ideal as contemplation attached with activity. And that is what Swami Vivekananda has meant for us, and he has given us. This is what I am trying to say there. Yes. So he is asking, if you are not doing this contemplation or the life of monastic as per the Shastras, then what is the essentiality of your monasticism? This question comes. So Swami Shivanandaji beautifully says, he says, they are renunciation of lust and goal. So every monastic member has to see to these 2 points. That is renunciation of lust and goal. Have you attained in that? What percentage you have attained into that 100% ideal? 100% you keep it as an ideal, and then what percentage you have reached so far? 10%? 5%? Like that you just analyze yourself. For that only, to go, solitude is necessary. So go into solitude. Our Yelagiri ashram is ideal for such solitude and thinking, to test yourself where you are, at which place you are there. So for that only, more than 400 monks have done tapasya in this center. So you can understand how monks are coming. Today also we have received one brahmachari who wants to spend 10 days of life of tapasya here. You see? So sometimes activity overshadows your contemplation. At that time, what happens? Your mind becomes weak, and then you say, hey, what has happened? Where I am going? I am only working, and no time to even go to the shrine and sit there. At that time, if you want to self-enquire, then this type of places, solitude places, are necessary. So this happens to us also now. So it is these 2 things to be renounced. Not only external attachments, he says, but also inner attachments. And that is what's more important. That's why a sadhu's life, from the outside, you may think, oh, how nice it is a life. It's very easy life, you may think, because there is no fight, there is no struggle. Inside you think, but it is not so. Every monk has got an inside struggle going on. Because till his death, till his body falls into the fire, till that time, he has to keep up his purity, physically and internally. That's the 2 things are required. For householders, Ramakrishna has told, internally, don't worry about that. Externally, don't worry about that. You may have tyaga internally, but outside we can enjoy everything. So that has been given to us. But for monks, both the things are there. That means what a tremendous struggle every monk is undergoing. It is very difficult to even conceive that for being a householder. That's why it is very difficult. Outside it will be seen as, oh, very nicely, jolly, they are speaking, laughing, and going here and there, and eating whatever devotees bring, nice things. So like that you may think, but it is not so. The life, outer renunciation and inner renunciation, which is what Swami Shivanandaji is giving. He says, at the time of your monastic vow, what did you do? What you did? You offered oblations in the sacred fire. Swaha, swaha, swaha. You did the swaha. So when you do that swaha, then what did you offer? You put a ghee through the big, the spoon is there, and you take the ghee and put it. Or you take the Villopatra and offer it to the fire. Swaha. So I am offering to Villopatra only. I am offering only ghee. That is only external representation of your inner desires. 1 by 108 desires are there within me. So 108 times you put the swaha. So each desire has to be burnt. That's why the Indian sannyasis, the Hindu sannyasis have got this ochre robe. The ochre color is nothing but the color of fire. When the fire is burning and you see the fire, the ochre color comes out. What that means, each desire has to be put into the fire as an oblation and burned. All at the base of all desires, whatever maybe you desire you may have, base, only 2 things are there, lust and greed. That's all. If these 2 can be sacrificed by a monk, then he becomes a real monk. And his level of existence is not ordinary. He goes to the level of supreme level of existence, which is called Paramahamsa. So we shall stop here and over to Juma for conducting any discussions.
Okay, so we'll request all, thank you Maharaj, we'll request all the members to raise up your hands, those who have questions, and all of you all will get a chance. Oh my God, let me open the queue, let's see whose hand went up first. Okay, so it is Mr. Chatterjee, Pranam Chatterjee, your hand is first, then Malabika, and then Bishotosh. So that's the queue now. Okay.
Thank you very much. Maharaj, first of all, Bhakti Purna Pranam to you. I'm unable to open the camera due to there is some fault at my end. I'm unable to open the camera. So please excuse me for the same. But what I want to say is, Ramakrishna Mission objective is, or mantra is, Atmana Mokshartha Jagadhitaya Cha. So it is the primary objective is the self-realization, which can be attained through the service to the mankind. This is what I understand. But is it right or?
No, let me hear your question first.
The question is that we hear that it's Atmana Mokshartha Jagadhitaya Cha. So it is the self-realization. Atmana Mokshartha is realization. So Atmana Mokshartha Jagadhitaya through the route of service to the mankind.
Yes. So what do you want?
I want to know that this in the course of the discussion, you said that this karma theory is people are getting disgruntled by this karma, by the only walk and all this. So that is why I'm trying to say, as per the Swamiji, it is the union of all the four methods. Is the understanding correct or not? This is
okay. Thank you, Mr. Dosh. It doesn't matter. Oh, Pranam. Thank you, Pranam. It doesn't matter you open the video or not. It doesn't matter. But though I have a particular preference, if people keep that video open, what I feel, I'm talking to some human beings. If all of them put off the videos, then I'm talking to the computer.
Maharaj, I'm sorry, I'm speaking from Calcutta actually through a different laptop, so I'm really unable to solve the problem.
That is not a problem. I'm not worried about that. For you, I'm not telling. Why I say, when you ask questions, etc., when you open your video, I feel that I'm talking to humans, that's why. That is the point. Anyway, that is my self or individual preference. But then, what you say is, Atmano Mokshartam Jagat Hitaya. This is the motto. That means two things are there. What Swamiji did was, he added one small one-syllable word in Sanskrit, which is Cha. So Atmano Mokshartam Jagat Hitaya. There he didn't stop. Though the full meaning has come, but then still he said Cha, he is added. Cha means in Sanskrit and. So Atman self-realization is part of the goal, and next goal is this goodness of the welfare of the world. But welfare of the world is not specially devoid of the first one. So the first one, Atman Mokshartam, has to be combined with this one. So we are doing activities outside. All activities should be considered as worship of Sri Ramakrishna. Then only the Atmana Mokshartam is possible. Like that he has said. But then there are people who disagree with Swamiji and who will say, we will do only tapasya or we will do only Raja Yoga. Yeah, okay, go. We are not constant. But if you want to be a Ramakrishna order member, then this motto has to be accepted by you. It's a simple motto. Yes, your understanding is correct.
Yes, understanding is correct. But the primary objective of a devotee like us, so is the primary objective remains that Atmana Mokshartha. That is the primary objective.
Correct.
And the method could be this Jagadhitaya, so whatever.
No, not in that way. See,
so can I fix my objective as Atmana Mokshartha? So this is the question.
Oh yes, that is not so. That's what I feel. Humbly I say,
yes,
that when the moment Cha is added, both the aspects get due and equal weight. You cannot separate it. That's what I told you.
Okay. Work and worship. Yeah.
Yes, both. Suppose you are interested in Atmana Mokshartam only. and not interested in Jagat Hitaya, then the Ramakrishna ideal is not suitable for you. There may be hundreds of ideals, and some ideal may be suitable to you, you can take it, but not in Ramakrishna mission. During our training center time, one boy left our training center, went to Rishikesh to do tapasya. He says, my life is for tapasya. I won't do all this work, etc. Because he considered all these things as work only.
Okay.
But the moment you understand Swamiji in his pristine way, then you know that Swamiji did not make work as a separate entity. He says work and worship are both in the same level of to be kept. They are both a due weight, equal weight. That is what Swamiji says. That's why the cha is added. Next.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Malavika?
Pranam Shamiji, you said that about the interpretation of Paramahansa, there are two interpretations. The Advaitic Vedantic interpretation is that Soham, and you said that the Advaitins are not given any mantras, but they are to realize this, I am that, and they chant, and this is how that is the process of their inquiry or sadhana. And then in one of the previous or many of the previous talks about this Advaita Vedanta practices regarding bhakti also, you had mentioned that they have also a very distinguished definition of bhakti, that seeking for highest knowledge is also bhakti. That is a very counterintuitive compared to what we generally understand by the Naradiya Bhakti Sutra, etc. My question is there any concept of Sharanagati in this Advaitic Vedantic practice, or there is nothing of that kind? Because I have never come across, so I just wanted to ask.
Okay, thank you, Malavika. It's a very nice question. And we are entering into the realm of philosophy now. So the question is, if I have to answer you in one word, the answer is no. But then I will have to now qualify it. So how do you consider a case where Uddared Atmanat Atmanam, you raise yourself by yourself? How do you consider that? Is there any external God there? Is there any external divine source is there? Nothing. Only yourself. That's what Krishna also says in Gita. Uddared Atmanat Atmanam. So there, do you say that you have surrendered yourself to your own self? So the Sharanagati is only in dualistic approach. The Sharanagati can work. In a monistic approach, there is no Sharanagati. Because if you say that I raise myself by myself and then I am taking Sharanagati within me, it doesn't make any sense. The words do not get any meaning. So if we say no. Yes.
Thank you, Shamaji.
And Vishwatosh, your turn now, please.
Yeah. Pranam Maharaj.
Namaste.
Maharaj, my question is, see, calm and kanchan, lust and gold, you have been telling that they are the fundamental things which we need to solve. But I also hear from different books within Ramakrishna Mission that the palate control is the one which is most difficult to do, your food, palate control, like eating good rasgulla, eating good food and all. So, if lust and, calm and kanchan is taken care, will my palate control automatically be taken care? But that is considered to be the most difficult among all vasanas. In several books, I keep reading that.
Okay. Thank you, Vishwatosh, for this nice question. See, the palate control does not come after the control of lust and gold. The palate control is a eminently, I should say, coming before reaching the renunciation of lust and gold. So palate control is one of the items that there are several items are there over which you control one after another. In that palate is one. But definitely, as you say, palate is very difficult. But there are people who have done palate control. Have you not read in Kathamrita that Chaitanya Dev's disciple, he comes and he wants to test him before giving sannyas. So he puts sugar cubes on his mouth, and the sugar cubes are becoming, what do you call it, as waves, as a heat wave, they go evaporate. Yes, that is a word. They evaporate. So he didn't take it inside. So for him only, I will give sannyasa, he says, Nityananda says. So these things we find it. Palate has been controlled well by many. It's not absolutely difficult, but it's not. See, lust is a word we should not identify only with the human bodily function. There are many other things that the lust can be accepted. Even eating nice food and having tasty food is also found the part of lust word. So lust means what? Bodily affliction. That is called lust. So bodily affection in any manner of the five senses in any manner. Even to hear, I have heard from one senior Swami, you see, you are all monks and you are telling us brahmacharis, you are all going to be monks. Mind you, don't listen, even if it is the divine songs, bhajans from a lady's, he says, he instructed us. Even if it is a divine bhajan songs, if a lady is singing, don't go on listening to that. Why? The lust can come even with the idea, with this shrimp, that is your ear, that organ also it can come. So all the five organs are put under lust wherever there is a body connection is there. That is it.
Okay, Maharaj.
And Indrani, Prithvish's question got answered. So Indrani, again, you have a question, Indrani? Go ahead, please.
Yes. Pranam Maharaj. Maharaj, Malavika's question reminded me of a question that I had in mind for a long time. We often get to hear within our order that so and so Swami was a pure Advaitin. So Maharaj, what do we mean by that? In our order, if we have to practice Gyan, the path of knowledge exclusively, don't we also have a mantra? Like you said, that no mantra. So is it Tattvamasi? Is it that, or do we always have a Ishta mantra?
Yes, it's a good question. You see, what is the fault in your question is, I'm sorry to tell that fault word, that's not a good word, but then the misconception about that is, Jnana Yoga does not mean pure Advaitic path. That you must get it clarified in your mind. Jnana Yoga is a path that leads to the knowledge of God and or of self. If it is of self, then you are going in an Advaitic point of view. If it is of God, you are going into a Dvaitic point of view. So knowledge of God is called Jnanam, and that Jnanam can be either through following Advaita or following through Vishtadvaita. So in Vishtadvaita, definitely, there is the people who say we follow the path of knowledge. You must ask them, what type of path of knowledge? Is it dualistic or it is monistic? You should ask. So unless we know that whom you are referring, if that person is monistic or dualistic, I will not be able to answer this question. If he is, suppose we take him, he is a monistic person, then he doesn't have japa. He doesn't have mantra japa. If he is a dualistic person, then he definitely has got. He has got a mantra, he has got a guru, he has got a personal God, he may have impersonal God, all those things will come. That is it. Does it answer your question?
Maharaj, in our order, we always have to have a Ishta mantra, is it not?
Yes.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes.
Now I have the answer to my question.
Yes. Because
Thank you.
we do not follow one path. Only Advaitic will follow if you say you are not fit to become the disciple of Ramakrishna. What Swamiji says, Ramakrishna is a mold. If you want to practice one or two or more or all the four together, then you fall into the mold of Ramakrishna. You maybe fall into the mold of another person, another saint. It doesn't matter. But if you want to make yourself as the disciple of Ramakrishna, then you have to fall into the mold of Ramakrishna. That mold of Ramakrishna does not go only one path. It accepts all the path and it combines all these four paths. That is it.
Pranam Maharaj.
Abhishanda? Please.
Yes, Pranam Maharaj. I just wanted to know one thing, Maharaj. I was reading Nirvanashtakam a few days before. I was reading it, and I had a doubt that in the first sloka there is there are our five indriya and five panchabhut is mentioned in the first sloka, but it's mentioned when it's a Shivoham means that it's the Tattvasi Tattva. It's the non-dualist Tattva is discussed there. But when it's mentioned, why it's four? Only four is mentioned, Maharaj. I was just wondering this one. Because it's not, the skin is not mentioned in, and water is not mentioned in the sloka. That's what I just wanted to know.
I see. But if you can give the exact sloka, I can find it out. You can send me a...
The sloka is Mano Buddha Ahankara Chitta Ninaham Na cha Shrotra Na Jivve Na cha Jnana Na Netre Na Teja Na Bhumi Na Teja Na cha Boma Na Bhumi Na Teja Na Vayu. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. This is the...
So in this only four senses are mentioned.
Yes, four senses and four bhutas, not water.
Not water. Okay.
Not water.
I have not ever thought about that. I will definitely look into this. Thank you.
Maharaj, Lalita has texted one question that regarding that Sharanagati, which the question, that question, which she has written that Maharaj, if Sharanagati is done to the Supreme, is it not linked with Bhakti? That is a question.
Oh, yes, that is what I told. Yes, Lalita, I told that. Yes, when you, that is dualistic positions only, the Sharanagati factor can be understood. Otherwise, in the monistic side, the Sharanagati, the Tattva itself fails there. Because there must be another person required to whom you require to pass on. So that is not there. So that's what.
Yeah. And in that sense, knowledge, jnana and bhakti are closely interrelated.
Interrelation, correct, correct. Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Moushami, would you like to ask a question now? Thank you.
Yes, Maharaj, please accept Pranam. One question. You just have said external desire burns when we offer, we means those who are doing yoga, we offer ghee and bilyapatra. So external desire, actually, we only observe when Maharajas or Panditji they are doing.
Yes.
So at that time, is it so that if we desire that our desire should burn like that, will it be so? Will it happen that time?
Oh, yes, you are.
Desire burns when we offer ghee and bilyapatra. So why 108 times? That is also one question. And why it means desire only for Maharaj's desire, or our desire will also burn?
Okay, that's a very relevant question. Thank you, Mosumi. The scope of your discussion regarding monks. Okay,
Yes.
And the monks, when they do oblations, when they do swaha, etc., they are expected not to give me bhakti, give me vairagya, give me this and that. We are not asking. What we are saying, we are renouncing one by one our desires. That is what the oblation indicates, that one by one we have to put in the fire and get it burnt. Now, this monk's ritual of offering oblation into the fire is not witnessed by the grahasthas anywhere. So you don't have any opportunity to see that ceremony. That ceremony is absolutely within the monks only. In Belur on Sannyasa Day, some young sannyasis are kept rounding the temple so that nobody can come near even to hear the mantras. The sannyasa mantras are so secret, and only for the sannyasis it is allowed. So when a sannyasi is doing oblation, no other person, no other grahasthas are allowed. So they have not seen, you have not seen that. What we have seen is that offering of 108 times is during our havan or during puja time. Either Durga Puja or Ramakrishna Puja or Holy Mother Puja. At that time we do. At that time we are not offering our desires or anything. We only seek from Mother. When Holy Mother, at that time when we are doing, we are satisfying Holy Mother by telling her, give me your qualities to me. Give me, Holy Mother, if you can list her qualities, it may go beyond 108. But just 108 is a number to indicate that it is such a big number. Only indicate. We say 4 persons will know, then what will happen like that? We say 4 is an indicative number. Not that exactly 4 persons. Is it not? 5 log ki bolbe. Erkum bolle, then 5 log is exactly not 5 persons. So here 108 times indicate this. But 108 has got some mystical meanings, for which in the Havan we use that 108 times. That is different. But at that time, we are not sacrificing any desire. We are only asking for the qualities of the Holy Mother, qualities of Swamiji, qualities of Thakur, like that.
Gaurav?
Namaste, Pranam Maharaj. Thank you for the Maharaj, just a question about monastic path. We discussed like you raise yourself by your own effort and all. Like I'm thinking the Totapuri incident, when he was trying to depart from Thakur, saying goodbye and all, he said, normally I spend just 3 days at a place. I spent here 11 months. I don't know why. And then he tried to, drown himself in the Ganges, and he couldn't drown his body because he had terrible stomachache. And also the point of realization for him was that although I'm a monastic, staunch monastic sadhaka, the grace of Mahamaya is important. So can we say that even for monastics at some level, Mahamaya's grace is necessary?
Yes, yes. So when you say that Mahamaya's grace is necessary at some level, it may not be universal fact. For some, it may not be necessary also. It depends upon the Mahamaya. If she wants to free you from the birth, she will make you free only. If she wants to bind you up to 10 years, she will make you bound 10 years. If she wants to make you till 100 births she will make you 100 births bound. So leave it to her. Yes.
So doesn't that mean imply that she has the last say, the last word? The Mahamaya has the last word, irrespective of monism and dualism and everything.
Yes.
All right. And
because we believe in Maya, so we will say that she is the last word.
Yes, the last word. Okay.
And that is the Shakti Puja.
That's the Shakti Puja, yes. And Maharaj, I just have one clarification. You were mentioning when you were telling about Upanishads that Gambhirananda Maharaj, he translated the commentaries or he translated the Upanishads?
Oh, the Upanishads mantras are the main mantras for which so Sri Shankara wrote the commentary.
Yes, and
so the mantra is translated. Underneath, the commentary is also translated.
Right, and Gambhirananda Maharaj, he translated that into English, no?
English, yes.
So what did he translate? The commentaries to English?
Commentaries were written by Shankaracharya in Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Original Upanishad mantras are in a form of Sanskrit.
Right.
So both the things he put it in English. Translated into English.
Both the things.
So if you keep the Sanskrit version and English version side by side, line by line. If you go through, you can follow it.
Oh, it is like that, line by line translation.
Yes.
Yes. And all the 10.
All the 10, yes.
Okay, and we will get it in our this thing.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is published by Advaita.
Okay. And
it's available in Bengali also.
Yes, in Bengali also it's available.
Okay, and Gaurav, you have another question?
Yeah, is it okay? Can I ask a small question again?
Yeah, small, make it fast. Make it small and make it fast.
Maharaj, beginning of the class, you mentioned about some ultra-modern views of monasticism and sannyasa, which is coming nowadays after the year 2000. Can you give some examples, Maharaj? Like you said, mission doesn't acknowledge them fully, but give some examples, Maharaj. Sorry.
So your question is small, as you say, but it is very, very highly loaded with missiles. So I don't want to go into that.
And some other time, yes, Maharaj is so.
When we have one-to-one, we can tell you.
Yeah, it's a tea time. And Gaurav, if you could just post your question. I forgot. I could not follow Gaurav's question. So what was the question, Maharaj? That it is loaded with missiles?
Oh, you didn't follow his question?
No.
I told the revolutionary
religions
thing was done by Swami Vivekananda to the idea of monasticism.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
And then after 2000 year, from 2000 millennium.
Oh, postmodern.
Yes, post Swamiji's monasticism has come, and there I am not worried about that. I said I am not talking about that. So when I say modern monasticism,
last question. One last question can we take, Maharaj?
Yes.
So
Shanti, namaste, Shanti.
Yeah, Shanti.
Namaste, Shanti. Rajeshwari Kanjigram. I have one question. How to remove the external desire, Maharaj? External attachment.
Yes. You see, for that the whole of sadhana is actually entitled or entwined with this removal of attachments. Is it not? Because any type of sadhana you take up, finally what it says that some type of attachment has to go. So external attachments are many. Like that, even clothes, for instance. You prefer, suppose, green, and you want to wear green for all the online satsangs. So everybody will know that Rajeshwari has come from Kanchipuram. So she is in green. So you have an attachment to that green. Is it not? This is an external attachment. So the external attachment does not mean out of your body also we have attachments. And with the body also we have attachment. So what we hear external attachment mean, we mean the bodily attachments. Bodily attachments are plenty. I don't need to explain that in gospel. Many places Sri Ramakrishna has mentioned about the bodily attachments. Those are all called external. And internal attachment means mentally attachments. So I may be attached to mango, and even during non-mango period, I would like to eat mangoes. So tinned mangoes, I will get it, and then I'll be eating mangoes. That's an external attachment, no doubt. But internally, I will have an external attachment of wishing to have mango. Though I'm not getting, I'm going without mango, still I won't say, wow, if today only a mango is there, how wonderful our food would be. That shows there's an internal attachment to that. This is the difference between them. Yes.
So, yes, there's another question, and Prithvish also has a question. Do you have time, Maharaj, or shall we?
I have another 8 minutes.
Okay, so first Umaji, you can ask your question, and then Prithvish will ask.
Swamiji, pranam Swamiji. Uma here from Chennai.
Okay, tell me.
Swamiji, you said that the Mahamaya is the final authority who decides depending upon the.
Yes, I said it while smiling. You should have taken.
I'm telling you that when Guru Maharaj talks to Master Mahasai first, he said the Advaita and Dvaita are two sides of the coin. How do you connect them?
No, what I said, how does it, your your idea differ from that? First tell me.
Differing, see, when you say that it is not, see, absolute monism and absolute Dvaita or Visishta Dvaita is really not possible, according to me, because everything has a mixture of things.
Why do you say? Why do you say that? Why do you say that everything has got a mixture?
That means absolute monism means simply actionless.
Correct. Because actions are called karma, and karma is going to bind you. That's why no action should be done. That's why Vidyaranya says he followed absolute monism.
But even then, he wrote the books.
Yes, those books.
Panchadashi, everything. So that means, Swamiji, forgive me if I sound little out of the way or ignorance is visible. Please forgive me. So he wrote this thing. So everyone, according to their karma, continues their whether they are in the monastery or outside or householder, they have to continue as per their karma. So it goes on. The world goes on like that. When it is so, why should we accept both Dvaitam or Visishtadvaitam and Advaitam, so that we don't have any contradiction inside us?
Yes, the question is not very clear to me, Uma. So, I'm sorry to tell you.
Okay, Swamiji. Another time I'll talk to you.
Reword it.
Okay. I'll talk to you another time because.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Pranam, Swamiji.
Thank you.
Swamiji Maharaj, Prithvi Shekhane, I have a question. This is more about general knowledge. So I'm reading this, going through this book, and this is the first page. It says that it is translated by their two names, Swami Gambhirananda and Swami Vividishananda.
Correct.
Was Vividishananda also not Swamiji's first monastic name?
No. While wandering, Swamiji had kept that.
But that was Vividishananda only.
That was not the monastic name. He only assumed that name to hide himself.
Okay.
You know, the newspapers, etc., they were coming, so that he doesn't want to show that Vivekananda is moving there. Otherwise, the brothers will find out, and then they will come and meet him. So he didn't want any of the brother disciples to come. So he changed his name. Vividishananda was one of the names he assumed. Yes, correct. But this Vividishananda does not mean Vivekananda.
Yeah, I was searching up. He's called Vijayan Maharaj Brahmanandaji's disciple. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You know, one Seattle lady had come in the first class. There she explained. She had seen Vivekananda and she told about Vivekananda also. Because the Swami was in Seattle Center in USA.
Okay, yes. Okay. So my question, as I said, was more general knowledge. So,
Maharaj Khetri Raja had given the name of Vivekananda to Swami Vivekananda.
Yes. This Vividishananda was a self-assumed name.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So Maharaj, I think we can now post this thing. We'll have our next, Tat Padam's next session will be on 1st December, which is by Shantatmananda ji on Kathamrita. And we will send out the details of this. And as Swami Maharaj said that any of you need the book, just ping me. I'll send you the PDF copy. I'll post it in Tat Padam.
Just a question to Uma. Is Uma there?
Yes, Maharaj. I am there.
Is this Uma Shantatmanandaji's sister?
Yes, Maharaj.
Oh, thank you then. Oh, nice to talk to you after a long time.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yes, next time Shantatmanandaji's class is there. Please attend that also.
Yes, Maharaj. I am attending that because I wanted to attend it, but this time is not very convenient for me. So anyway, as much as possible, I like to attend because I like to hear about other Swamis and then great monks of earlier days, how they have suffered and succeeded.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to this Sattvan session. Yes. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we go with the Sri Ramakrishna.
Pranam Maharaj. Namaste Maharaj. Thank you Maharaj.
Bye everyone.